The Democrats just lost the election, so obviously their response should be reasonable. Well, let's see what The View had to say about the election results today.
What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women, is my understanding. You have Latino men, actually, voting more for him. And you have, and black men was not the story. We're not the story here because they voted almost 80% for the vice president.
Right.
So why do you think that uneducated white women voted against their reproductive health freedoms? And why do you think Latino men voted in favor of someone that's going to deport, says he's going to deport the majority of his community?
White women like being called uneducated white women. I think the economy matters, national security matters. But when you put people in these boxes, I think that's a takeaway from this race.
There is a voice of reason on The View, and that's the last person, right? The voice of reason was you put these labels, these people in these boxes. That's why you get the results you get. Sonny, you shouldn't be surprised the Democrats lost the election simply because this is what you have done to people that simply have values that differ from you. Rather than being so upset with somebody thinking differently than you and labeling them such hurtful terms or making them out to be something that they're not, such as uneducated, maybe just accept that maybe they don't think the same way that you think about things. For example, you utilized terminology such as reproductive health. Maybe other people believe it's not so much reproductive health as it's taking the innocent life of another. And as women and as men, we care about the sanctity of life. Maybe we're not haters of women, but we just simply care that babies should have some sort of value here on this earth. Is that such a controversial take? It's amazing that these people are so clueless as to why many did not vote for them. They're tired of living their lives in a very difficult economy, right? The people sitting up here are probably not struggling to the way of a modern day citizen like myself and many of you that are watching. We were fed up with the continuous brokenness in our economy where prices were so increasingly high we could hardly afford to live. On top of that, we were tired of hearing the rhetoric that continued to come out about babies not having value. It's clear that conservative voters made their voices heard in Florida, defeating the amendment that was going to potentially go into law. We have seen a strong showing of people that are educated. Just because you don't agree with what one may have to say about the results of why they vote the way they do doesn't make them uneducated. But please, Democrats, keep using this rhetoric. It will make sure that you have another landslide loss in the next coming elections. Because if you keep making people to be enemies, this is the result that you get. Maybe we're not so awful. It was also shared that Latinos, you're going to be mass deported. Okay, first of all, nobody is calling for the removal of legal citizens that are in America. People are calling for the removal of people who have come into this nation illegally, right? They've done a wrong. There's technically a criminal because if you break the law, that's you're doing a crime. They are utilizing taxpayer dollars to get assistance from the government that we so pay into as citizens, and we're wanting to ensure that it's going to the right people, that our money is being used correctly. The people who voted because of deportation and the removal of illegals, they voted because they wanted their tax-paying dollars to go to them. Because if you are a taxpayer and you're paying into the system, you want to utilize the benefit that you're paying into. That's the whole intent of the government, is to help its citizens to thrive or to excel in the environment that they have. You're working for us, not the other way around. And you're not working for other lands, so to speak. Yes, you want to have peace with other nations, but U.S. citizens have been getting robbed by so much of the government, and they're overspending and choosing to shell out money to illegal citizens who are not here legally. Nobody in America, from my understanding, at least if there is, maybe there is. It's called freedom of speech for reasons you can have your viewpoint. But I don't think anyone in America is vouching that people who are legal immigrants, okay, that they get assistance or they get help. Nobody's upset about that, okay? And That's the thing, is they want to make you think that we're against immigration. I'm not against immigration. I'm all for people coming to this land. This land is amazing. Bring your amazing values, your ideas, and contribute to America. Because America is a beautiful melting pot of so many different cultures, so many different beliefs. That's the great thing about it. There's freedom of expression, freedom of belief, free speech. The rhetoric is so easy to see, but they're blinded by it. They just want to, like I said, put people into a box, like Alyssa shared at the very end there in that clip. They want to box you in, make you feel like you're this awful person when you simply just believe in strong borders. You simply believe that your taxpayer dollars are used in a way that is actually furthering the American people. You believe in the fact that babies have right to life, that they have value and meaning. You believe in male and female. You are just a normal citizen in the 1950s, potentially, or maybe all of human civilization up until this point. But now you're somehow this transphobic, you're this hater of women when you just believe differently. The amazing thing about America is that we are able to have the freedom to share what we believe, and it's not going to be speech that is going to be unprotected by the Constitution. Rather, we have freedom of speech. That is such a beautiful amendment that the founding forefathers of this nation have put out. And it's what allows me to say what I'm saying today, and also these people on this platform. And their response to the election, they're shocked by who's won. I'm shocked in the sense that I didn't think it was going to necessarily happen. I really felt like maybe it would happen, maybe it wouldn't. I was pretty surprised in a good manner, because I really feel like this is the mercy of God, when I think we were far more deserving of judgment, because I really do think that as Americans, we have really pushed God far from our forefront and focus, and rather we've pushed other ideologies and sin at the forefront of our focus. I still hope God has mercy and that there's more healing in this land. I think there's the ability for that to occur with the new changes into the government that is coming. But I also can see that there could be potential for more corruption. I don't want to put my faith and trust in government or man, because I know they're flawed and they can make mistakes. But I do think in this most recent election, it was very clear about one stance being for the Lord and one not being so for the Lord, and removing somebody who said Jesus Christ is Lord in their rally, and also the immense difference in the view on when is a baby valuable to have life. And I'm still not in full agreement with the current administration that is coming. However, it's better than what was going to be slated, right? So we're getting somewhere, and hopefully we can continue to improve. And hopefully Americans start to see that babies coming to this world is a beautiful thing. It's not surprising to me at all that there was a loss for the Democratic Party simply based upon this video. If anything, it just is a reminder that they lost their way because they continually made people that were just everyday citizens that believe that their taxpayer dollars should be utilized to further America, or believe that there should be secure borders, as these people who are haters of immigrants, haters of women, when the actuality is we just want our land to be secure, and we value life, and life should be fought for. And I believe that there's a lot of people now who are encouraged by this election, because there was a shift, a massive shift in our land. And I just hope that there's continued mercy of God, because even though we did vote, God's judgment or his mercy can occur based on how we vote. Like, the true reality is I think we're going to experience potential mercy of God because of this election. I'm really thankful that people got up and voted and decided to not want what was coming. There are so many advertisements that came out from the Democratic campaign that were so counter to Jesus. And it's not to say the Republican Party is free of that either. But when we look back at just this election, I think this will be a turning point in America. And my hope and prayer is that men and women start to see that when we start going to godless governments, when we start going to godless beliefs and ordeals, it is utter chaos. But when we walk in the way of God, there is a love and a joy and a peace. And there's going to be persecution that comes. It's not over by any means. There's going to be a lot more videos like this where there's immense anger and upsetness. Don't get caught up in the noise. Still be loving, still be caring, still be gracious. Don't try to gloat and look, we won. No, the most important banner you need to fly in your life is your banner that is Jesus Christ, not some man or woman in this earth. It is Jesus that needs to be your highest banner. You can be encouraged. That's totally fine. Show your support. That's fine. I just don't want people to be known more for who they voted for over being known who they are under the dominion and power of, which is Jesus Christ, because that's our most important focus, because that's who even determines who we're anticipating planning to vote for, whether it's this or that party.